First of all, guys, if you would like to support the channel, my PayPal will be in the description, so thank you all very much. So welcome back to Anime King 3, and I'm back with part 3 of What If Naruto Was Neglected and had Omni Energy, guys. Remember to get this one too. 100 like as usual. Share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also, guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the other channels if you're new. Yes, that's correct, I indeed have 3 more channels, which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. I'll be leaving a link for the other channels in the description, so don't forget to go ahead and obliterate that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. So yeah, without further ado or wasting more time, let us jump right into this brand new episode. Begin the intro, guys. So, the last part that we left off, Menma, Sasuke, Sakura found themselves worried as the bridge suddenly collapsed. Sakura was able to grab Tazuna and jump to the high platform, but the others landed on the water surface. Kakashi jumped towards his team, knowing that something critical and big had just taken place. Meanwhile, Zabuza Momochi was face to face with someone that he's been hearing about, but he was rather shocked though to see that it was a child. No older than Haku, perhaps even 1 year younger than Haku. Gato had sent him here to eliminate them all. Naruto was there. Both of them took him on using the ice release and that massive cleaver blade. We get to see a fine breakdown of Naruto's ability. We get to truly understand just how much Naruto has grown drastically. We get to see just how much more power was at Naruto's disposal as he was able to use a different form of energies, ki, chakra. He was even able to use Hokage, armor Hokage, and many more. Naruto's strength had grown ridiculous over the past couple of years. He was able to end Zabuza, showing how much he's grown. But Zabuza did put up quite a fight though. Haku used around 99% of his power, trying to end Naruto after what happened with Zabuza. But we saw the armor's Hokage at its best, as Naruto simply watches Haku fell into the water, without the potential and power to keep himself adrift. Naruto then made his way, but he was stopped. It was Menma, pissed off, blaming Naruto for their mother's sadness. But Naruto disregarded him like it was nothing. Menma continued on, but Naruto sent him down. Naruto dropped Menma so hard that the cliffside started to break. With one punch, Naruto was able to end the life of Tazuna right there and then. Menma exploded out. He was coated with the power of the Nine Tails. He was able to put up a decent fight, even caused Naruto to bleed slightly. But that is where it ended, as Naruto proceeded to beat the living hell out of Menma. Kakashi raced towards the scene trying to stop Naruto, but Menma was already put in a critical position. With one backhand, Naruto had knocked Sakura out. Kakashi had no choice but to grab Menma as Sasuke grabbed Sakura, and they had to flee the land of Wave, as Naruto started to wreck everything from above, releasing surge of ki blasts that were demolishing buildings down below. Gato arrived along with his man, and unlike the treachery that he did when he came to Zabuza, he wouldn't hassle with Naruto one bit, as he paid him up front. It took them some days to return back to the village. When they finally did, Menma was rushed to intensive care. The attacks from Naruto not just gave him external wounds but internal wounds. It was clear as daylight. If Menma did not have the 9 tails, he would have died. Naruto was not holding back. The family had no idea what happened as Mito arrived. When Kakashi finally gathered them together because they all wanted to know. When the words slipped from his mouth, they were shocked. For the next following days, everything was different. Menma had woken up, but he was not yet clear for duty. He was still residing within the hospital. He was weak in many different ways. Despite his body recovering nicely, they would like him to stay off active duty for a while to ensure that no further complications went. Naruto attacks weren't just heavy. They attacked Menma internally. A lot of his organs got damaged, but once again the power of the 9 tails, it kept him alive. But it was the sheer humiliation that Menma was feeling, knowing that the one to best him, knowing that the one to crush him under his boot was Naruto. It was triggering a rage inside of him that he can't contain. Everyone was going through it. Minato, Kushina, Mito, they were all going through it. All trying to understand, all trying to predict what would happen next, all trying to get Ravel into their own personality, their own feelings on the subject. Because this was their family and yet he just tried to kill another. Kushina was distraught. We found Naruto as we got to see a glimpse into the past, at the many abilities that were at his disposal now, some that he still did not spoke about. Naruto was sitting down after exercising. He did not even move that much, but it was the energy inside of him. We learned that all the energies combined, they became Omni Energy, and Omni Energy was number one. That person that told him about it, that person that gave him the information on all of these, Naruto had not seen that person again, despite the person saying that he's known him for his entire life. Now that confused him. However, Naruto pinpointed people coming his way. He did not flee though. As he stopped, he found himself surrounded by a group, as they told him that he will be coming with them. So yeah guys, basically as we left off, you guys can switch across the playcheck of yourselves as we begin this new episode. Menma Namikaze slammed his fist into the dummy. He pulled his hand back as he looked at it, feeling the tingling sensation. He was given the release from the hospital. The extent of his damage was far more severe than they thought. They say that if it wasn't for the 9 tails, he would be dead right now. They made that very clear. The power is the only thing that kept him alive, because his internal organs were a mess. Every single time he closed his eyes, despite him tapping into so much power of the 9 tails, he could remember it clearly. Each punch, each kick, each slam. Every single time he closed his eyes, it came back like pain, shooting through him. And he hated it. He despised it. Menma was angry. Ever since waking up in the hospital, he was angry. Rage was not the proper definition of what he was feeling right now. It was more than that. It was beyond that. And to think his worthless, good-for-nothing brother did this to him. Menma has always hated Naruto, and there was a solid reason behind it. Flashback. Since Menma was able to understand the world, he was being told that he was special. His parents told him that. His friends told him that. His godfather told him that. Everyone around him told him that he was special, that he carried a burden, that he would be the next best thing to come out of Konoha. Him and Mito were given so much praises. And there he was, his brother. There was nothing special about him. This was when they were much younger. Menma and Naruto were in the park, along with a few others. This was before the hatred, before the malice. Menma was still arrogant though. Both him and Naruto were in a bit of a squabble, as Menma decided to prove that he was better after all. He's been told that his entire life. When he threw his fist though, Naruto caught it and flipped him over his shoulder and slammed him on the ground. Naruto chuckled at his success over his brother. To Naruto this meant nothing, it just meant he was roughhousing with his brother. But to Menma, his whole point of view shattered in that moment. He's been told his entire life that he was the best, that he was supposed to be better. The weight that was on his shoulder, he was supposed to have all these responsibilities, but as he saw Naruto chuckling down towards him, as he was soundly defeated so easily, even after the early training that his mother was giving him, and yet he was still bested. Naruto was weak, so the fact that he did this, from that moment something just snapped inside of Menma. Everything that was being told to him, and yet he was dropped so easily. From that moment on, he started to get more angry towards Naruto. Over the years, no one checked that anger. Over the years, people just continued to tell him that he was best, that he was better. And every time he saw Naruto, he remembered that day. And because no one truly understood or saw that rage, and because every time he spoke, they took his side over Naruto's, Menma started to see Naruto as less than him. Thus, that hatred rose. That hatred did not stay hatred for much longer though. It turned into arrogance. It turned into superiority, knowing that he was better. He had nothing to fear from Naruto because he was beneath him. Whatever he had, if he wanted it, he could take it. And thus is how Menma saw it for, well, up until the land of Wave. In the flashback, he was bested like it was nothing. That rage has once again resurfaced, pushing him over the edge. That rage was boiling inside of him. It felt like he was going to explode. As he clenched his fists, he will become stronger. Stronger than that idiot can ever imagine. And he will see then. They will all see. In the distance, observing her brother was Mito. Mito's case was different. Flashback. Mito saw it. She saw everything. However, what she saw was the others. They were speaking about Naruto. It was some bullies saying that he wasn't special, he wasn't anything. Mito Namikaze jumped on them literally and beat them for what they said. Naruto never saw this one bit, telling them never to go near him ever again. However, by that time, Menma had been caught up in his own feelings. What the hell do you think you're doing? What? I'm defending our brother. Do you really think that is going to help him? Look at him. He's weak. And you think if he doesn't know that he's going to become strong? No, he's going to remain weak. You can't fight all of his battles. After all, we have battles to fight ourselves. But it's not like it is. Menma said, shouting at her. He has to learn. He has to understand. After all, the responsibility will be on him if he doesn't overcome this weakness. And he will pull our family down. But he's still family. Mito shouted back at him. And if he wants to stay that way, he needs to become stronger. We can't hold his hand forever. Mito turned her head away. She was a child. She was impressionable. As Menma was pissed off at the whole thing and pissed off at Naruto, he drive this point forward to ensure that she never stand up for Naruto ever again. Mito saw one day when another bully came to Naruto and she saw him fighting back. She smiled. Perhaps Menma was right. Thus, she looked away. Thus, Menma insults. She thought it was making Naruto better. However, she too grew arrogant as well. Over the years, their parents praising them. Her getting whatever she want. She became spoiled. She slowly started to forget about Naruto. Forget about his, not existence, but everything that she thought back then. End of flashback. She regretted. She regretted greatly. She regret everything that she did. She regret not stepping in. She regret not making better choices back then and now. She can't change the past, but perhaps she can make a better future. As for the parents, Minato Namikaze with his work of being Hokage and his job for training the two. The prophecy, Jiraiya had came to him. They believed that these two were the direct ascension of that prophecy. Naruto was going to be fine. He wasn't fit to be a ninja, so he was a part of the family. He would still be loved. He would still be cherished. But they need to put their focus on the other two. Minato was thinking as a grown-up. He was not thinking on Naruto's behalf. He was a child. A child that expresses emotions a lot. And Minato was stressed from work when he yelled at Naruto that day. From that day on, Naruto simply clammed up. Minato believing that everything was okay, but he was dead wrong. As for Kushina, she claimed she understood the burden of being a Jinchuriki, so she had to make sure that her children were safe. But what about Naruto? He was left in the cold. He was left in the dark. Mikoto was right about her. She was neglectful to her son, to raise the others to be the best that they can be, because she felt the pain of being alone. But she didn't realize that until recently that she did the exact same thing to Naruto that she wanted to prevent from happening to the other two. And now she regret it. She regret every second of it. But they all knew that they can't change the past. But if she could just see him again, if she could just talk to him again, she believed that she could make great changes for the future. And they could be a family again. However, there were certain wounds that can never truly be healed. Absolutely never be healed. Time skip. His footsteps echo along the walkway as Naruto gazed around. There were 4 ninjas that surrounded him. Each of them were wearing the headband with a musical note on it. At first, he thought they came to fight, but instead, it was a mission. They need his assistance. One would think that Naruto was pretty crazy, just simply making his way. However, none of these guys pose a threat to him. Despite their numbers, Naruto was confident that he could win pretty easily. However, the moment he stepped into this place, he felt much larger powers. Much larger. Unlike your standard individual that had a hard time sensing. When combining all of the source of energy into Omni Energy, Naruto could pinpoint everyone within this vicinity. His range was growing even as we speak. Naruto's step continued on into the base. He was led to a massive set of doors. 2 guards were posed up there. The doors opened as Naruto stepped inside. He figured that this place was simply a small hideout spot. Despite it being rather large, he was speaking about how easily they led him down here. He doubted whoever this was wanted to give away their location so easily, so they must move around a lot. He was curious though, who exactly was it? Finally arriving, Naruto saw a man sitting down on what seemed to be a throne. There was a few that resided behind him. The door closed, but Naruto did not even look behind him. The person get up and stepped down the small set of stairs, allowing Naruto to fully see who it was. Those slitted eyes, that menacing aura. Most would be trembling just looking at him, but Naruto was calm and rather relaxed as well, as Orochimaru, a rather ferocious, fearsome individual, stepped in front of him. "Ah, young Namikaze, do not call me that. Refer to me as Naruto. Nothing else, nothing more. Orochimaru smiled at that. Well, Naruto, he said, I am glad that you choose to come, so we can have a little conversation. He started to walk around, a tactic that he used, but Naruto did not turn his gaze, not even once. The Sannin was intrigued. Was he that confident in his strength, or was he just a fool? I've heard about your recent exploits within the land of Wave. If you don't know, I've had some ties with your last benefactor. Orochimaru said, my time is very important. Do not waste it. What the hell do you want? Upon saying that, Naruto could feel the person behind the throne twitch. There was a few of them, but one of them twitched. But the Sannin, posing a relaxing face, seemed to make them relax. Orochimaru chuckled at Naruto's remark. I must say, I've been watching you. Orochimaru said, not in a visual sense, but I heard things, many things. And I have to say I'm intrigued by your power. Not to mention, the necessity that you take to do what is ever given to you. It doesn't matter the brutality of what it is. After all, you just condemned the entire village to the hands of a, well, lunatic, if you might call him that. Before we get down to business, can I ask you something? And it does pertain to our future relationship. First of all, we have no relationship. Secondly, the only reason why I'm permitting this is because I want you to hurry up and say what you have to say, so go ahead. Very arrogant, are you? It's not arrogance, it's annoyance, said Naruto. Tell me, if I were to ask you to join me to lay siege to Konoha, bring it down to its knees, crushing it to nothingness, after all the mistreatment that they've inflicted on you, would you join my cause? Orochimaru said. Or perhaps this little stunt of yours is just for those who are not connected to you, those who are not your family. Get this right. Naruto said, I have no family in this world. A mission is a mission. So, it doesn't matter the brutality when it comes to killing those that you once knew. Are you that corrupted? Are you that evil? The Sannin said. Evil? I would think that someone of your caliber would know better than to use that stupid word. Tell me, Sannin, are the people in Konoha not seen as evil as well? Do they not commit great acts to see their village succeed? That leader of theirs, did he not kill over 1,000 ninjas to ensure that Konoha would remain number one? And yet you use that barbaric, stupid word. Are you that naive, or do you think of me as some kind of fool? Naruto does not enjoy killing, nor does he hate killing. It was like, for example, picking a weed out of a garden. Justice is a tool, not the truth. If mercy is to be served, if those are to be spared, there has to be a reason. Naruto a long time ago stopped looking through emotional eyes. He was looking through eyes of realism, eyes of truth, eyes of true understanding. At the moment, the only person in the world that Naruto cared for was himself. Nothing and no one else. So, when it comes to death, meaningless death and chaos, that was their decision. That was their position of being down that path. Because the world was not black and white. Absolutely no one in this world was truly good. If you kill in the name of your village, you still kill. Naruto's mind has been open to something that many fail to understand. The universe was small compared to what he was feeling. Omni Energy was the tree. And from that tree you had branches. Branches that spring off into different existence, different realities. This is where all of these power came from. But he was the only one, the only being in existence to truly awaken Omni Energy. That man that he spoke to when he first awakened the power, he still had no idea who that was. But Naruto could feel that he was the only one that truly awakened Omni Energy. He was in control of that tree. He wasn't a part of the branches. So to Naruto, many people that he saw around him, those that thirst for power, those that try to take it by force, he believed that they were in a dream. He was the only one in the entire set of realities that was truly awake. Naruto knew that life was fragile. Death was frequent. Order is just an illusion. Power, it is what conquers. To those that see it as a tool, as they use it for lesser people and beings. Chaos could be playing out in front of Naruto's eyes, and he would never intervene, unless he saw a reason to. In this world, you had people that cry over death, because they think that it ends something, but it does not. But for the time being, he was still bound to this form that he was. He was still bound to this reality. He was still bound to this existence of a shinobi. But he did not see himself as one. And because of that, there were certain necessities that Naruto needed. His words, they intrigued Orochimaru. The child was not stupid. He was just confident in his own power. To face him like that. Are you finished wasting my time? Naruto said. Naruto answered Orochimaru's question in a rather strange way, but he did give him an answer, but he never said yes or no. But Orochimaru was smart. He wasn't an idiot. He could see between the lines and understood. And he knew what Naruto meant. It was a no. It might seem like he was agreeing by saying that everyone was not, well, stable or one path or one track. But that is not what he was saying. It was a clear no. Because he had no interest in doing something like that. Because it would serve no purpose for him or serve no purpose for his outlook. And besides, going up against a village like that, the drawbacks at the moment were greater than most. Orochimaru could see that rather clearly. What if I were to say that I have the manpower, that I have the strength to bring it to its knees? Orochimaru questioned. Looking towards Naruto. You see, Naruto was a very touchy subject in many different ways. Orochimaru had his people within Konoha. And this child was the black sheep of the family, seen as not special. Orochimaru had wanted to take the boy. He was, well, not that special to them. They wouldn't notice him missing for some time. Orochimaru was intrigued about his blood, the genes that make him up. Despite not being able to access it, Orochimaru would. He would be able to conquer that genes from the Namikaze blood. What made Minato Namikaze so special? And that Uzumaki genes. After all, Uzumakis were rare nowadays. The numbers were few, but they were rare. However, the child ran away before. He could do something about that. He heard the whispers. He was able to close them down. While most were not aware, Orochimaru was in the world of the darkness. So he knew a lot. And he knew Gato. So yes, he knew a lot. The Sannin now made his move. Because the child was no longer hiding within the dark. Because Konoha was now aware of him. Orochimaru wanted to use his power. He wanted to use his strength. One would say why Orochimaru just doesn't take it. After all, he was a Sannin. He was powerful. But there were so many unknowns. If this child had not said what he said, Orochimaru would have attacked him a long time ago. But it was not black and white, similarly to what he believed. The child believed that he could survive someone like him. There was something that Orochimaru was not seeing. The records and everything that he's seen so far. The child had some unknown source of power that was not entirely chakra. And that is why Orochimaru hesitates. He's been cautious. That is the reason why he's lived so long. His goal to gain true immortality. He wasn't a fool. This power, there was something about it. Orochimaru could practically feel it. Something deep under the surface. Something so crushing that this boy had no problem stepping into this place, being surrounded and showing absolutely not an ounce of fear. And it was not arrogance. It wasn't. That would serve me no purpose. In your mind you believe that I despise those people, that I hate them. But you should know I do not. You don't. After everything, that is not my past. I've cleansed myself of that family. I've cleansed myself of that lineage. They are nothing to me, and I am nothing to them. So I have no purpose to go there. I have no purpose to attack their village. And if you do, you will fail. You're strong. You might have the manpower, but you will still lose. And why is that? Orochimaru said, curious why he would think that. After all, he did not see what was at his disposal. Because I can see it. Naruto said, confusing even the Sannin about what he was talking about. It's not like he can see the future. Wait. Orochimaru wondered to himself. Of course not. But that would explain why he walked down here without hesitation. Of course Naruto can't see the future, but he wasn't about to reveal anything to Orochimaru. Naruto turned and started to walk away. I haven't dismissed you yet. I'm not under your command. I'm not one of your people. You are nothing to me more than a simple man, believing that he can speak without anything that would result in anything useful. Naruto said, walking towards the door. Orochimaru threw something as Naruto caught it. It was a scroll. I didn't say that I didn't have something for you. Besides, if you recall what I said, I was simply asking. Naruto opened the scroll. It was a mission. Looking down towards the payment that was there, it would suffice. Where shall I bring the item back? Naruto said. Why wouldn't you think it would be here? Orochimaru said. You brought me here. Show me where you conduct your business. Why would you so easily reveal yourself to me? Unless you'll be moving very soon. Orochimaru smirked with his eyes. You're a smart child, he said. With a snap of his finger, someone landed beside him. This person will be accompanying you. They will take the item once you retrieve it. After all, this will be your mission. You will simply hand it over to them. And once it is finished, you will get your payment, Orochimaru said. It shall be done. Naruto said as he came to a stop. Know this. The both of us have signed a contract to work together. And I'm willing to do your mission for you, said Naruto. I hate people that betray one another, especially when they just start something. So I'm going to tell you this only once. If this is some scheme or some twisted trick of yours to try to control me or to learn what I can do, I won't just kill you. I will make sure that you never stop experiencing pain. Orochimaru chuckled. You're a rather amusing child, are you not? You believe that you would be able to do anything to me if I wish to betray you. Naruto smiled back towards the Sannin, and Orochimaru felt something. Almost like he was hit, but there was nothing there. Well then, we'll just have to see. After all, actions speak louder than words. Naruto said, walking out. The person that walked alongside him was a man. His face was covered. He seemed to be around a few years older than Naruto. As Naruto started to walk away, a few people stepped out of the shadows. One of them was a very high-ranking member with Orochimaru. My lord, I'm not questioning your actions, but that boy is rather disrespectful. Why did you simply allow him to leave? There are things that I wish to unravel, things that I wish to see for my own eyes, Orochimaru said. Taking him right now would serve no purpose. That boy seemed to be able to fully control what is at his disposal. During our conversation, my slight jabs towards him, he never got riled up, not even once. It almost felt like a lock was there, and there would be no way to get through it without that key. Kimimaro looked towards his master, understanding his foresight. After all, Lord Orochimaru always had a plan. Time skip. The man that Orochimaru sent. There was a reason why the Sannin had sent him. Orochimaru always had a backup plan. After all, his first instinct was to take Naruto, but there was a plan there. There was always one. The man found himself in a tree waiting as Naruto ventured off into the village. There was a person that was currently hiding out there. He's been evading Orochimaru. He had something that Orochimaru wanted, and he's been evading him for some time now. But they were able to pinpoint his location. Orochimaru was using Naruto to try to understand him. There was a reason why this man was accompanying Naruto. The bandage that were on his face. It seems like he could not see, but he was walking fine. He proceeded to lift said bandage and expose his eye. His eye was red and unusual. It had no pupil, but the outside of it was black, almost like darkness was encroaching on his vision. He hailed from Kiri, one of the clans that were eviscerated. He was one of the last members. Their sight was their specialty. He could see and understand abilities, while he could not understand the exact premise behind it, because that would be far, far more dangerous. He could understand the basics. After all, looking at the fire style jutsu, he could understand how it is used and performed. However, when it comes to abilities like the flying Raijin now, he wouldn't be able to understand that. He could quickly understand the premise of the seals being placed all over, but he could never perform it. It depends on the rank of the techniques. But when it came to energy, he could surmise. After all, they were used to dealing with one. But Orochimaru believed that he could see through the pattern and understand this power, because the Sannin was curious. Like many things within his life, this was just one of his side projects. All of them led to one goal: true immortality. Meanwhile, Naruto arrived. The young man could not see Naruto, but he could see all the chakra around them. His eyes, they were open towards the world, but he could not see people normally. He could simply see their shapes and their outlines. When the power is used, that is when he truly saw the greatness. Now that he removed the bandage and looked towards Naruto, as those bandages were special in many different ways, as they kept his ability restrained, it was a sealing pattern that was on the inside of it. After all, if his ability was in constant use, it would drain him really quickly. But the moment he focused on Naruto though, the moment he tried to understand Naruto, his world changed. He found himself inside of a black, empty void. He then found himself inside of an open space. Information. The depths of true information of everything in the known universe, existence itself. His mind could not truly contact or understand. As he truly got a glimpse of Omni chakra, and it knocked him out cold. Meanwhile, this small village, it was not a ninja village. However, the leader here, he had great ties with the man that Orochimaru was hunting down. He was hiding him here after all. Because he was a thief. More than that, an expert thief. And the leader here paid him quite a hefty sum to ensure that his village prosper rather well. Stealing sort of things to make sure that his run-of-the-mill village that is seen as a trading post the most due to their agriculture studies and their buildings of different, crops. This was all taken from other sources that came together to create one, super environment. He was startled, scared out of his mind. While he didn't have ninjas, they had police. They were trained in the most modern things to handle outside interference, but nothing too drastic. He was terrified when a child suddenly appeared inside. Almost had a heart attack, he did. As he held his chest. "Where the hell did you come from?" he said, looking towards Naruto. "I'm looking for Kaizaru." His eyes immediately narrowed. I don't know who that is. Who the hell are you?" he said. "And how did you get in here?" "Where is Kaizaru?" said Naruto. "He's wanted. There is something that is not his. Can you please bring him to me?" The man got to his feet. He stood at 5'9", dark, curly hair, dark eyes. He wasn't the most lavish person, but you could see the silk in his material was well put together. "Look, brat," he said. "I don't know who the hell Kaizaru is, and I don't know who the hell you are. But you walked into my office without a meeting, without a reason. This is not going to end well for you," he said. As he pressed a button on his table. It took a few seconds, but there were 3 guards that entered inside. They had batons in their hands. As they looked at Naruto, surprised that he got by them. "Take him away now," the leader said. They moved to restrain Naruto. After all, children could be dangerous in this world, especially a ninja child. The first hand that grabbed Naruto found himself unable to move him. Given the man was an adult, it was confusing. "Tell me something," said Naruto, rather calm despite 3 men trying to yank him. "How much do you love your people and your village?" "Get him out of here," the leader shouted. "Are you willing to risk your life for one man that does not even live here?" "If I'm being straight, one thief," Naruto said. "Get him out of here," the leader shouted once again. We're trying," the 3 of them said, unable to move Naruto. Naruto merely flexed, and they were thrown like they were made of paper. Naruto turned his hand towards the wall as a ki blast started to generate within his palm. He fired it. It broke through the wall before it dropped in the center of the village. The explosion eradicated several nearby people, running towards the wall that now was an open, massive crater. The leader was stunned, unable to believe what he was seeing, unable to believe what his eyes were currently viewing. Naruto fired all 3 more, and the scream started. "Wait, stop!" the leader said, dropping to his knees. "Please, speak," Naruto said. The man took a breath as he stopped stuttering. I'll hand him over. Just stop this," he said, begging and pleading with Naruto. Naruto walked and sat down in his chair. "I'll give you 15 minutes. I'm being generous, so please, don't waste my time," Naruto said. He ran off. He knew that his people could not be evacuated that quickly, so he ran off. "Get in the other guards. Come with me now," he said, allocating a few of them. Kaizaru was brought to Naruto in less than 5 minutes. His hands were bound. Kaizaru was glaring daggers towards this man that betrayed him. The man that was, well, most known for using his services. "Kaizaru, Orochimaru sent me." Kaizaru's eyes immediately went wide and fearful, knowing what was coming. "He wanted me to retrieve the artifact that you stole. Could you please give it to me?" said Naruto. Kaizaru looked towards his person and looked towards the destruction within the village. Yes, I still have it, but it's not here." "Where is it?" In a hiding location of mine. A few miles away from this village." Naruto grabbed him by the back of the shirt and flew. Yes, he flew off, making his way through the hole. "Where?" said Naruto. Kaizaru pointed down towards a nearby cliffside. When they landed, it was a cave. Naruto stepped inside. Kaizaru immediately ran. He ran for his life. Naruto stepped in, his eyes observing every particle of the cave, but there was nothing there. Kaizaru believed that he could escape Naruto as he hid within the bushes. Naruto landed down in front of him. Kaizaru pulled back, terrified to the fact that Naruto found him this quickly. Naruto grabbed his right arm. Naruto held his arm like a blade as he simply raised it. Kaizaru was shouting at him to stop. He will give him the slice. Naruto cut through his hand, tearing through flesh and bone like it was nothing. Kaizaru screamed as Naruto grabbed the stump that was there. The pain immediately started to die down. The stump had been healed over. The amplification of ki and chakra combined, the most spiritual life of healing essence. "You have 3 more limbs, external ones for usage." "Am I going to have to ask you 3 more times?" said Naruto. No more," Kaizaru said. He brought Naruto to the correct location, immediately fearing the fact that Naruto was going to kill him now. However, only one thing Naruto took. It was a scroll. After seeing the contents, he left all the other valuable things behind. Things that were important, not just money-wise. He left Kaizaru. Kaizaru realized the mistake that he made if he simply had spoken the truth. He wouldn't have one arm now. Time skip. He felt a hand on his forehead. It wasn't often that people look him in the eyes. The man was shocked. His observant gaze met with Naruto's. Naruto placed a scroll in his hand. "Where's my payment?" he said. What happened?" "I do not know." "That is what Orochimaru wanted. Now tell me, where's my payment?" He searched himself as he pulled out another scroll and handed it to Naruto. As he looked, Naruto simply vanished in front of him. He blinked in shock and confusion. He remembered and recalled what took place. 4 people emerged. They were the Sound 4 of Orochimaru, having followed the 2. They took the scroll away from him. He looked towards them confused. They believed that he was using his strange ability while he was unconscious. But he was not. He was simply unconscious. "What the hell?" Tayuya, a red-headed girl, said. "How the hell did you pass out?" They had no idea the true mechanics of his abilities, not really caring about him to know about them. And now, Naruto was gone. He was just gone. Maybe a form of teleportation. It had to be. The man looked rather out of it. You could see from his gaze that were strange already. He was brought back and told Orochimaru all that he saw. Orochimaru was beyond intrigued. His interest in this boy raised to a new height. "I told you that the dumbass was unconscious," Tayuya said, as the others didn't want to get too close because they were supposed to remain hidden away. However, her words were rather, well, boisterous. She was someone that did not care much for other people's feelings. Orochimaru did not seem that upset about it though, as what he heard gave him an insight into something rather wonderful. This mission could have been handled by any one of them, but Orochimaru chose to bring the betterment out of two situations. And he got what he wanted. They were waiting for their next objective, trying to understand what else was it they were going to do. Were they going to go after him? They were surprised though when the Sannin told them to leave him. That was confusing on, well, many different parts. Orochimaru had something else to focus on: the destruction of the hidden leaf. However, who could truly tell what was in the mind of the Sannin? Meanwhile, Naruto was seated in a rather expensive place. A table for one. He's done a lot of missions. You need money in this world, and a lot of it. And he has a lot of it. After all, he's done dangerous things, and his payment was great. You could see by the type of food that was on the table, they were expensive in every sense of the word. This was a 5-star hotel, one of the most high quality. They were surprised, especially his age. However, he had his money to spend, and he had quite a lot. He paid for a rather expensive room, a massive bed. They believed that they would be more accompanying him, his parents, but he was alone. And now, one of the most expensive breakfasts. Naruto ate a lot, so much. High exertion of his energy especially, most focus on physical attributes, consume a lot of his energy. And he tend to get hungry, so when he ate a lot. As the table was filled with food, a seat was drawn and placed down beside him, right at his table. However, this was supposed to be a meal for one. Naruto did not look up, as a man with long white hair sat down next to him. Unlike before, making his presence silent, that was no longer the situation. Naruto wasn't hiding from anyone or anything. He was simply existing. As he sat there, he did not stop eating, not even once. When he finally placed the knife and fork down, Naruto gazed upwards. He could see it in the man's eyes: concern, fear, unknown, confusion. This man, he's met him a few times before, but he hasn't truly met him now, has he? "Can I help you?" said Naruto. "You don't know who I am?" Jiraiya, another Sannin, questioned Naruto. "Of course I do. You're Jiraiya, one of the legendary Sannin. Thank you for allowing me to finish my meal. Now, as I said, how can I help you?" "What are you doing?" Jiraiya said. "Well, I was eating. Now I'm talking to you." "I'm not talking about that," said Jiraiya. "I heard what happened. We all thought you were dead. We searched for you." "You searched for me?" "I'm touched. But why are you speaking like we're something?" "I'm your godfather," Jiraiya said. You are. News to me. Even in the past you were only the godfather to Mito and Menma. So how can you say that with a straight face? Are you retarded or something?" Naruto asked. "What? Of course not," said Jiraiya. "I know that things weren't good. But listen to me. I don't have to do anything. There's no one that controls me," said Naruto. "Not you, not anyone. So I'm going to ask you once again. What do you want? Why are you here?" to bring you back to the village. I know that things have been bad. I know that things are different now for you and everything, this whole situation, but you need to come back with me. You need to apologize for what you did. But things will be better. The past can be easily forgiven. So, let's head back to the village. Your parents, they really miss you. First of all, there's nothing that I'm going to apologize for. And I don't seek any forgiveness. And I don't have any parents. If you don't mind, I'm going to wash up and be on my way. Jiraiya grabbed Naruto's wrist. Sit down, he said. We're not finished talking, he said to Naruto. Naruto sat back down. I know that I wasn't there for you. I know that most of us wasn't. Because we put too much effort into everything else. And for that I'm sorry. But you almost killing Menma does not justify anything. He's your brother. He's still your blood. And you leaving has changed everything and everyone. Everyone make mistakes. And they've made their mistake. But they can fix it. They can give you the life that you've always wanted. We can fix the past by creating a brighter future. Creating a bond between a family that is much greater than anything. You can return. Things can get better now because everything has changed. And that will be proven to you, but you need to come back with me. Naruto's hand was on the table. First of all, don't ever touch me again, said Naruto. Secondly, Jiraiya opened his mouth. Let me finish. It's been years since I felt anger. Because I believe I've overcome that. But it seems I'm wrong. You sit here and preach about family this, family that. You speak to me like you don't know how to speak to me because you don't. Because you and I have nothing. We are nothing. Those people that you claim to be my family, they're just people I once knew. You believe you can force me back to the village, and I'll give it to you, you can. Because I'm not strong enough to defeat you. Well, that is if I remain sane. And I don't want to go overboard right now. Because I like this place. Their power right now can subdue me. But that will come at a cost. For me as well. Naruto said, looking at his hand. So, it's best if you leave this place. I'm sorry, but I can't do that, said Jiraiya. Soon enough, the connection will be made between you and Minato and Kushina, and your life will be in danger. Oh, so you care about my life? I never thought you did. Look, I'm not going to make excuses, because you're right. I don't know you that well, but I want to. And I want to change things. But you have to put a step forward as well. In order to see change, you have to be a part of that change as well. Naruto looked around. As he looked at the environment in the place, a violent earthquake then ripped through the entire place, startling many as glasses, bottles, and dishes crack as they fell to the ground. This was Naruto. It was his anger. You see, Naruto's power was spiraling. This man and his words were pissing Naruto off greatly. Naruto thought he's done a lot controlling his anger over the years, but actually meeting someone like this face to face, beating the crap out of Menma was different because Menma wasn't trying to justify anything. And Naruto was simply not interested in hearing any justification. He simply wanted to be left alone. Jiraiya could see that this was coming from him, but how? This was simply the pure, raw form of the Omni Energy. Naruto then switched as he went into his cursed energy. Jiraiya noticed something on the table, but he was too late. It seemed like it was nothing, but there was somehow a pattern forming through the very fabric on the table. Jiraiya was shocked as it spread across his body. Confused he was. It was known as a void, binding seal, made purely from cursed energy that was one of the energies at Naruto's disposal. It locks its enemy movement using those cursed sigil. Given the power that this man possessed, he would be able to break it, there was no doubt about that. After all, Naruto has yet to truly master the aspect of these different energies. While he had great control, mastering them was something else. Jiraiya's body was locked up, a moment that was all Naruto needed. Omni Energy flew around Naruto's hand. The literal amplification of Omni Energy. Naruto's hand became white, almost like it was about to crack apart. It was a pure raw, concentrated power. Naruto spun and hit Jiraiya. This was no normal blow. The Sannin eyes immediately turned white. Tables, cheers. The force that Jiraiya was thrown with had kicked up so much shockwave and power. The entire place was blasted through. A gaping hole as Jiraiya crashed through this building and into another, breaking through support beams, breaking through another, and another, and another, and another, and another, before finally crashing at the outpost of the village that Naruto was currently in. The Sannin was struggling to remain conscious. There was one thing for sure though, he could not move, because each movement was like agony. There was a reason why Naruto did not fear Orochimaru. Naruto might not be as fast as the Sannins, or as strong because he failed to truly, use his power to its full potential, because he lacked perfect control. But there was one thing that he had over them. It was a surprise. The things that he can do. Binding Jiraiya. It would be hard for an average ninja to do that because of the application of seal, but curse energy was different. The Sannin never expected that. Not one bit. First of all, Naruto was also smart as well. Naruto feared that Jiraiya would see it coming. The moment Jiraiya grabbed Naruto's wrist, that is when Naruto applied the seal to him. The void binding seal. That is when Naruto applied. The second one, that was actually nothing. The second one was to see if the Sannin was ready to attack at any moment. But him failing to react in time, he did not believe that Naruto was that powerful, and it was clear. As Jiraiya blocked out and regained consciousness a couple of times, and that was from a single blow. However, Naruto had used majority of his control over Omni Energy in that moment. He looked at his hand that was pulsating with energy. He needed better control. Power was not his problem, control was. As he lacked the control to keep it stable after that, because combining all of the power source, it wasn't easy. That is why he trained, and that is why he will continue to train. Naruto stepped towards someone at the front. The person shivering and hiding in fear. "Sorry for what I caused," Naruto said. "I'll send you enough to repair the damages." With that, he made his way off, vanishing away, using the mana step, transporting himself in the vast distance away. A few days later, "Sir," as the same receptionist that was there, hand over towards the man that owned this hotel. This would have to come out of his pocket, but he was wrong. It was enough to cover the damage that was done, with a note of apology. Naruto was a very genuine person. To those that caused him no harm, those that only brought him delight. And that place had the most wonderfulest meal that he's come across. So he had no problem forking up the money to fix the repairs. Yes, he had absolutely none. We later find Naruto within a rather harsh environment. He was swimming in the frozen lake within the land of snow. As Naruto was down there for a good 15 minutes now, his body was still in the water, almost like he was unconscious, but he was not, as Naruto was going to the very brink, allowing his power to fuel through him. Naruto was controlling and molding all the energies at once, while he lowered his body temperature, putting himself into a semi-dead state, allowing himself to control the power at his instincts without relying on his mind alone. And you could see it. The collaboration of all the energies merging as the Omni Energy grew, as his power expanded. But as things were right now, all of these chaos and problem was just getting started because Jiraiya made his way back to the village. And it wasn't with good news, as Naruto wasn't just any normal ninja. He was actually a threat, much danger than they originally believed. And he did not hesitate to try and kill anyone that stands in his way. But guys, be subscribe right here. If you want to see the next part and do, like, subscribe, comment down below and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. But I'm off and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.